the back door.
Really?
I was in here by myself, all the doors closed.
Is the Burlington County Prison Museum in Mount Holly, New Jersey haunted? Do the spirits of executed prisoners continue to roam these halls? The answer may shock you. Join us now as we begin an in-depth investigation. We will talk with eyewitnesses,
Let's play the EVP.
hear startling evidence, and experience our very own encounters.
Oh my God.
As we explore the dark secrets that lie within the walls of the Burlington County Prison Museum. What is it that fascinates us about ghosts? Perhaps as children we recall sharing tales of spooky encounters and phantom apparitions while curled up in sleeping bags. Could it be the desire of wishing to speak with a loved one who has passed? Or are we simply trying to rationalize an experience that we ourselves encountered? Whatever the reason, people are more curious now than ever before about ghost and haunted locations. And one such location is the Burlington County Prison Museum in Mount Holly, New Jersey. It is believed to be one of the most haunted locations in South Jersey, and eyewitnesses have reported seeing everything from shadows to orbs. And I, for one, was eager to get to the bottom of these claims. But doing this alone would not be easy. So with access to the prison granted, I assembled a small team of investigators to film and document the visit. None of us are professional ghost hunters, nor are we licensed parapsychologists. We're just good friends who share a common interest, and that's to find the truth. We'll meet them now. I've kept the film crew scaled down to just 2 members, myself and this guy, Joe Carollo.
Joe Carollo, aka Johnny Bloodhound. My job, I'm the cameraman. My opinion on the whole thing, I believe we do go somewhere when we die. There could be spirits all around. However, I'm very skeptical. I want to see something definitive. So what do I want to get out of it? It's a tough question to answer. Let's just say I want to be convinced of something. Let's say that. I want to be convinced of something.
In charge of still photography is Chris Deptula.
My name's Chris Deptula. I'm 2010, 30. Live in Mays Landing. And here I am. I want to see something that's going to be like, wow, I can't believe I just seen that. That's what I really look forward to. Well, I was younger, high school, getting ready for school. My closet was at the top of the steps, and I felt something like blow by me real fast. I turned around, there was nothing there. So that was it. Freaked me out, because I thought it was my dog.
During this time, where was your dog?
Downstairs with my mom.
Michelle Hannon will handle the EMF detector.
I must have been probably about 12 years old. I was sleeping, and as I woke up, I looked right over to the window, and I saw a clothes basket just floating in midair, and thought I was nuts. So I tapped my mom. She was like closer distance. She was sleeping also, and I said, "Mom, do you see that over there?" And she saw it too. So. And then there's also like a story also that my dad did see something in that same very house in the basement. He thought he saw like a little girl, like maybe his sister's size, because she died when she was 1, so he thought it was her. It was like, like running behind like some water heater in the basement. So I've just been interested ever since. It's been really, really interesting.
And working with the voice recorders is Beverly Hannon.
I'm Beverly Hannon. I'm 33 years old. I just want to see something, like, I want to see actually some good stuff.
Armed with video cameras, night vision gear, digital and analog recorders, and a slew of other components, we set out to do our first official investigation. Destination: the Burlington County Prison Museum. The Burlington County Prison Museum in Mount Holly, New Jersey was our very first official investigation. Though well-equipped as we were, it did little to prepare us for the night we would soon be in for.
There it is.
Where?
Right there.
Completed in 1811 to hold 40 prisoners, it would later house over 100 and was the site of numerous executions by means of hanging. It remained in operation until 1965.
Marissa.
We arrived at the front where we were greeted by museum attendant Marissa Bozar, who graciously gave us a tour of the prison.
This is the warden's office, typically what it looks like.
So that's the safety lift for all the...
That would have been used for his own personal belongings, whatever he brought in.
It's like Shawshank
With
Redemption,
that.
I'm thinking. Yeah, that's where they have the books and stuff. Yeah,
Right.
the cookbooks.
Don't tell you too much. They just give you the basics of what their crime was when they came in, when they left. The newer ones.
Having only been there for less than 8 minutes, I already began seeing what I thought were shadows coming from the main hall. I would later chalk this sighting up to merely flickering lights.
You would want to know about the person is in the more recent ones.
Do these lights usually flicker?
Sometimes.
Okay. All right, so I saw like the shadow and stuff.
Yeah, sometimes they'll put, it's all on one breaker. So.
Is it?
I heard that it was made to house X amount of people.
Yes.
Wound up doubling or tripling that amount.
Yeah, it was built for 40.
During that time of the overpopulation, were the women still,
Yes. They were still all in here.
and it was all women, or was it women and men in
It was
several
all
things?
women. They would never mix them.
Really?
The most they would do is put juveniles in with them.
This is a small cell, my
Yeah, it's
God.
pretty.
And how many average during the time of overcrowdedness do you think would have actually been in here?
4 to 5.
Oh my God.
So that's us.
Wow. Could you imagine?
No. Is that a real cell or is that
Yes.
just a front? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like that. It's better than a wax figure though.
It got open about 6 years ago, accidentally. We don't have the combination for it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a little kid was playing with it on a tour, and his mom kept yelling at him to stop touching it, and next thing you know, it popped open.
Oh my God.
I have no idea how he did it.
Them ghosts did it.
What is it?
That's really cool.
It was a big safe.
It was locked. They didn't know the
Yeah,
combination
the inside
to it.
luckily was open once we got in there, because it needs a key.
Wow. The little kid was playing with it.
Having heard the many stories about the prison, I soon began feeling an overwhelming sense of responsibility to give a serious investigation. While the others continued touring the hall, I decided to ask Marissa if she had ever encountered anything paranormal.
What was the strangest thing you've seen?
Probably in the gift shop. I was closing up for the day, and I saw a shadow of a guy come out of the warden's office and walk to the back door.
Really?
And I was in here by myself with all the doors closed. Were you freaked out? A little bit. Yeah.
Aside from executions, Marissa did tell us of 2 murders that took place in the basement.
The guard came down to give him medicine, and when he unlocked the door, the prisoner was waiting for him, and he hit him over the head with an iron bar.
Wow. Where was his body found?
Just laying right in the middle, right on the floor.
So the inmate
Killed the guard,
And
and then killed another inmate. He went down the hall, and an inmate was coming out of the kitchen, and he swung at him. He didn't die in the building. He ended up dying in the hospital.
That's nothing but wood now.
Yeah, it's storage now.
Despite housing thieves and murderers, we were surprised to learn that it didn't take much to find yourself locked within these walls.
This is a list of some of the crimes and sentences you could have gotten in the 1800s. Some of them are a little weird when you think about today's standards.
So burning a barn, you get 30 days in jail. found not guilty of trial. Lunacy, taken to a sane asylum. Cutting timber, 8 days.
What?
Yeah, it's like us, we got the water laws. Yeah, I got the same kind of thing now. Incorrigible, 7 days. Bigamy, 1 year state prison. Horse stealing. That was comparable to car stealing.
Yeah.
Open lewdness, 54 days. Disorderly house. Disorderly house being just having a disorderly house, or just being disorderly conduct?
It was more disorderly conduct if you had
1 year.
disorderly conduct going on at your home.
Well, so you can abduct somebody, but
Yeah.
if you were...
12-year-old woman. 12-year-old girl was in jail for arson.
Oh my God.
1873, a man, his wife, and his child were put in jail.
And there's the Boston Strangler.
He was here?
For a little bit less than 48 hours.
Wow.
Was this a layover for him, or...?
He was stationed at Fort Dix. This was before he became the Boston Strangler. He had raped a girl off base, so they had to do the trial as a civilian. And when he went to trial, the mother of the girl refused to take her out of school to go to court. So they didn't have anybody to testify against him. So he was released on bail. Military discharged him, and that's when he moved back to Massachusetts.
Now, do you believe that, or do you believe maybe the mother was just fearful?
I don't know.
girl.
I heard it from his lawyer, so his lawyer actually still practices. He's about 87 years old.
Yeah.
But he still practices. Yeah.
While the rest of the team was preparing for that evening's investigation, I decided to take one last tour of the prison alone. Making my way through the labyrinth of halls and jail cells, I couldn't help but feel as if someone, or something, was watching me. As I entered this cell, the hair on the back of my neck began to rise. Not out of any fear, but because I knew what this room had been used for. Prisoners were brought to this room to stay on the eve of their execution. It was here where they ate their last meal, said their final goodbyes to their loved ones, and where they would contemplate their final thoughts before being taken to the gallows. These walls had a story to tell. Its memories ran deep, far beyond the iron bars and brick facade. It was as if the prison itself was trying to tell me something, perhaps one of its dark little secrets. All I could do now is try and listen. With lights out, it was time to roll.
Just follow me.
Okay.
Watch your step.
Our investigation would begin in the basement. Once there, we would remain in total darkness, using very little light to guide us.
We got all the IRs on?
Yeah.
Our first stop was the basement workshop. We set up several voice recorders and began sweeping for electromagnetic frequencies with our EMF detectors.
Yeah, very strong EMF reading.
Okay, right there.
Yeah, but it's pretty stable. What, 5?
I went to 5 now?
Yeah.
Take a picture.
Whoa, now it's going up.
Let me take a picture.
Right here.
Where you at?
Yeah. Take some here.
Go up against the wall. What is it?
3.
Okay,
Past 3.
walk towards me.
Now it's going up to 4.
Walk towards the camera.
4.5. 5.
I can't have it with the camera because the camera's giving off the same. Yeah.
Does anyone want to talk to us?
We decided to split up. Bev and Chris would be with Joe, while Marissa and Michelle stayed with me.
Michelle. Yeah. Check to see if your phone gives off any EMFs.
Okay.
Alright, we're under a stairwell right now. I'm just gonna stay right here near the window. I don't know what this is. Bricks. It's raining outside. Stay put. I hear the wind. What was that? What was that bang?
That was me.
Was it?
Yeah, hit the gate.
Oh, okay.
No, it was weird. I heard it. I mean, it might have been like the oil in the pipes or whatever.
He's just waiting for it.
What's that?
Who was that?
Back to 3.
Okay, go against the wall. Now walk to your left.
There's something. There's.
Okay, there's all
looks like
pipes
an
right there.
electric outlet.
There's all pipes.
Or a pipe.
Now, where do we go?
Can't see a thing. Is there anybody
There's
here
the
that
bathrooms.
wishes to speak to us? Give us your name.
Oh, that's the part of the kitchen.
Here you go. Right
We
there.
can.
Hey guys, let's switch. You go on this side. Okay? And then we'll check out this area.
Upon our arrival, I got the strangest sensation from within the prison's breezeway, which overlooks the gallows in the courtyard outside. I decided to place a small voice recorder and a stationary camera in this area. As I was on my way out, I began feeling as though something was watching me. As I stopped to turn my camera on, you will see a small orb shooting from out of the door and passing through my head. And what's even more interesting is that I immediately turned my head as if it were next to me. Later in the investigation, the stationary camera begins capturing this strange light anomaly. Though it appears to be hovering over the same threshold where I felt uncomfortable, I can't say whether this is paranormal or simply a light refraction from one of the team members on that same floor. I will leave the analysis for you to be the judge.
The
It's me. Did they really use it?
Oh, yeah.
There's no seat on it either.
Does it flush?
Not anymore. No. There's never any water up here.
I see a cat.
We got action. I got chills. Hello? Can you go get the other guys? That stopped. Hello? It stopped when I spoke.
Could it be your phone?
So we tested your phone downstairs.
Yeah, no, because it won't do it all that. Didn't do it any other times. Can you get that? Do you see it? Perfect. What is your name? You don't want to talk to us? You do. Yes is for 100. And no is for the needle not to move. Are you in trouble? Are you in trouble? Can you see?
That thing's moving like a...
Alright, keep the camera on. What's your name?
Don't say nothing for a minute. See if it moves.
I think it's taking it off our energy of when we talk or something. The needle went like this. It never did this. It went. It jumped.
Where?
Watch, ready? Look now. Now it's not doing it. It did it right here.
Right here?
Is there anybody here that can make that move again? Do you want to make the needle move? Can you make that move?
Further attempts to make any sign of contact with our EMF detector proved uneventful, so we decided to gather the gang and prepare to head back to base. And that's when things got interesting.
666. No. No, it's not doing that. Do that again. Impress me.
Show us how old you are.
No, he's not moving at all.
Can you do that again? Are you there?
Are we bothering you? No, it's nothing. That's weird.
He's moving again.
It's not as random as it was. Either.
Whoa!
It seems like, it's as if it's going off voices, though. No.
Can't be.
No, wait.
I only got 8 minutes left. All right. I'll stay.
Chris, come back over here.
I'm going to shout a name. Hello.
Okay, I'm going to shout a name. Okay? Is your name David? No, I don't know. Joe. John? Were you the guard that died here?
Oh my God.
Okay. How can we help you? We have voice recorders. We have technology to pick you up, to actually capture your voice, to capture something.
Do you want us to go to your old cell?
Is there something we can find? Okay. Turn around this way.
This way?
Yeah. Do you want us to go somewhere? Do you want us to find something here? Do we go left? Do we go right?
How about 100 being yes and
Yeah.
not moving at all being no?
Yeah, that's what I'm getting. Okay, let's go this way.
To go to his cell. That's
No,
what his cell is.
let's hold up right here. Okay. Do we go up the stairs? Okay, hold up, in case it's random.
Keep saying 100.
Do you want us to make a right, or do you want us to go? Do you want us to go right, or do you want us to go up the stairs? Okay, you believe in this?
I
Let's
just
go
every
up.
time you raise your voice, it goes high.
Not necessarily. Look.
No, I was jumping when he wasn't saying nothing.
Notice every time you raise your voice, 2 seconds later, the thing flies high.
I know, that's what's weird. Maybe it like shoot.
It's not.
Voice activated thing.
It's not. Look.
To better understand what we were experiencing at that moment, you must first understand how an EMF detector works. EMF is short for electromagnetic field. This is the field of energy that is given off by electronic interference or electronic components, such as computer monitors, AC adapters, and even motorcycles. An EMF meter is used to detect these fields. It is believed by many that a spirit is made up of energy and has the ability of being detected by passing through or around the area of the EMF meter. An EMF meter has no internal microphone, and it does not have the ability to pick up sounds.
Okay. Okay, don't move it. Do we go left?
Ask him if he's still with us.
Are you still with us? Are you still here? I'm shouting as loud as I can, Joe. You know, as loud as I want to. Do we go left? Do we go right?
Should we have went back down?
Do we go back downstairs? Were you screwing around with us? Just to kick us out? Do we go upstairs? Do we go straight? Come back downstairs this morning. Oh, you're trying to kick me out?
As interesting as our encounter was, I couldn't help thinking that we were being deliberately forced out of that basement. This weighed on my mind for some time. That is, until I began listening to the evidence from our voice recorders. It was then that I discovered something quite disturbing. I presented the evidence at our first meeting since the investigation.
All right, Burlington County Prison. Let's play the EVP. This is about 20-30 minutes into the investigation. We were on the basement. It sounds like a half-wit.
Yeah.
You know, like he just, you know, like he's in jail because he's a bad guy.
but he is poorly educated. You know, he's just got that "don't you bother me." You know, like yeah. It's in the hallway that is just absolutely the minute when we were on the tour, when we were on the original tour,
Right.
going up the stairs and stuff. What'd you feel when you went?
That's what I felt. Just only really right there I felt.
Right.
By the door?
Right there, and that was it. Anywhere else,
Which part?
right when you
Near the gallows, behind the gallows, that
Where the hallway is to the
long hallway.
No, see, I felt more at that.
There was a
where
point
that.
you asked me, go ahead, go up the steps and just see what you feel. And as soon as I did, I walked in, it got creepy even more, but right as soon as I got up to the top of that steps, right by the doorway, I felt chills just go up and down my spine.
Let's hear that again.
As long as I've been doing this, that's the best I've ever heard.
Came out and like
But usually you get 2 words,
Yeah,
1
real
word.
quick and real faint. That's the best I've ever heard.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Well, it could be something. Who knows? I mean, it's possible.
Well, it's definitely something. You know,
definitely something.
it was picked up electronically by something. Something has been imprinted into the data of that tape. I would like to go back there, and we are going to go back there, especially.
Yeah, and I think I mean, for our first investigation, that was really our actual first investigation. I mean, we've been to bad stuff like that, but I thought it was great. I think we did really well.
Haunted or not?
I think so. I think we can get. That's why I want to go back, because I think we can get more. I think so. Yeah. I definitely think so.
So I'm going to lay this exactly where I left it. It is 7:45, July 14th, and I left it right here. All right? That was me.
Yeah.
It's too clear. It's too close.
What do you mean?
The sound is too close. Like, we're too close to this recorder.
Okay.
Which means if he said it, he was farther away. Go down where you were sitting. It's just this next level down.
Yeah.
And then you say.
All right.
Because then that means he was saying it in your area.
So you want me to say it from down here?
Yeah, that's where you were sitting. So now I'll go up. And as I'm going up, I'm going to timestamp the recorder. About 10:08. All right, Joe. Don't cup your hands. Just say it natural.
What did that sound like again?
It sounded much more natural. That sounded more like what I caught on tape. The same distance and everything. Which makes me think it was in the basement yelling at you guys.
Oh. That's where we were. We weren't up here. I don't know that.
Yeah. That sounds really close.
The distant sound of Joe's voice was quite comparable to the distant sounding voice of the original EVP. This led me to believe that the source of the original voice could have been in the exact location in the basement as we were during our first investigation. My focus then shifted to the EMF detector, as I tried to find a rational explanation as to why the EMF reacted the way it did on our first night. What I discovered only raised further questions.
I'm not getting anything on here. The entire time we were down here, it was just averaging 3, and I was just assuming that was just from the electric and stuff. It never went lower than that. See, now it's jumping because I'm near the fan. But this is where we were when everything was going nuts. It's at 0.2 on the very top meter. And it averaged around 3 when we were here. Now, there were heaters, all the power was off, all the electric was off. Yet now all the electric's on and we have a weaker signal.
Strange.
And this is where the guard was killed. Hello? Yo?
During this time, the rest of the gang arrived, and we were greeted by our newest member, Trish Leskis.
We have a friend with us.
Okay, not much.
Would you introduce yourself, our new
This
team
is
member?
Joe. How are you? That's Trish.
Trish, nice to
That's
meet you.
Marissa.
I've always been interested in the unknown, but after I moved from Atlantic City to Northfield, we moved into a house that was about 100 years old and started seeing things. Well, actually, my family members started seeing things. I never saw anything. I've only actually really been hunting recently this year because I was traveling on tour across the United States. So it brought me into many different theaters. You came across the older theaters, over 100 years old. There was plenty of stories, and the stories raised my interest. And then I would go on break and wander around by myself with cameras, and I started taking pictures. And I came across lots of my pictures had orbs, tons of them, thousands of them. After that, I was just hooked.
It's nice gallows. I mean, they obviously sanded it. I'm not getting splintery or anything.
Well, I want to have fun with them. I think that egging them on, torturing them a little, they'll get mad or annoyed easily and maybe come out.
It's a nice night for a hanging.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
With the rest of the gang present, we decided to go dark and have another crack at the prison. And we didn't have to wait too long before encountering strange technical difficulties.
My camera just shut off. No, the minute I asked if anyone was here, was
No, shut off on its own? Or did you get it by accident?
No, I didn't touch it.
It shut off on its own.
That's interesting.
Like a Ghostbusters in the beginning? Yeah, really.
Dan, that's weird.
The camera would continue to plague us with problems, and for the rest of the evening, most of its footage would be virtually unusable.
He doesn't want to speak.
Were you the one that shut my camera off?
The hell's that?
I don't know. Michelle, you mind explaining that to us?
I was trying to get it to a spot where it was so we could see a crap out of here. I just jumped.
Here we are at the prison courtyard. We have the stocks right there where they would leave people. There's no way out. Huge wall. I don't even know how high this wall is. Separates everything. And we have the gallows. Not a very glamorous place to be, knowing that right here, hundreds, possibly hundreds of prisoners lost their lives. They knew they were going to die. What could be in their minds? What could be the final thoughts of their minds? Would they want to be here
and haunt the place forever. These are stocks. Can't imagine nothing more painful than having both your arms and your feet in this position.
Whoa, this thing went all the way up to 4.
Really?
Now it's at 3. Should have brought my bug spray on the car.
This stuff here?
Oh, that's the trap door.
Where is it really?
Look at the cutout.
Uh-oh.
I'm just saying, that's why I'm over here, not over there.
I'm under the trapdoor?
You're on the trap door.
Oh well.
Let's just hope it's strong enough.
Going to hell tonight.
It's a nice night for a hanging.
Absolutely.
What do you think?
I couldn't argue with you more. Couldn't agree with you more, rather.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that? There's like a light that went, unless somehow a headlight can go through the backyard. And I just saw a light go flying across the yard.
Can you allow us to photograph you? I'm focusing on a door. Can you move that door? You all right?
What was that?
The door wasn't opened all the way. Oh boy.
Let's go upstairs where we can sit in here for a few minutes. And then after we're done here, I think we should go up and do a little bit of some stuff in the
Oh, definitely.
the warden area where he lived in that hallway and stuff. Because that's creepy right there. It chills us just like standing in the back of my head. Let's go. Over here.
For the next several hours, we experienced nothing. No noises, no shadows, and absolutely no response at all from the EMF. At the end of the night, we decided to have dead time. That is, sitting quiet and still for almost an hour. We experienced nothing. Or did we? Listen to the audio coming from the camera the exact moment Joe responds to Michelle.
Got one orb.
Right now?
No, about 20 seconds ago.
Alright.
As you guys were walking up.
A low-frequency hum sounding like feedback begins. This lasts for over a minute.
I'm not gonna say, but I mean, it looked like an orb. Danny's looked at the film, he'll figure it out.
And then, as soon as the camera shifted, it stops. Could this have been a phantom encounter? Or was this simply an audio glitch? It has not happened before or since. The verdict is still out. Here's another interesting piece caught on Joe's camera. Watch as the girls leave the doorway. Pay attention. At almost the exact moment as the girls proceed down the hall, this feathery mist seems to appear from below and exits the door in the opposite direction. Here it is again in slow motion. Notice how the object rises, then changes its course, drifting out and into the hall. Moments later, the object reappears from out of nowhere and is caught by Joe's eye.
There's an orb, son of a...
Again, we see the feathery mist appear from out of nowhere, as Joe is able to see this and follow it to the floor. Could this feathery mist be dust, a bug, or something entirely paranormal? You be the judge. In our final clip, you will see two orbs and hear audio interference from the camera. This interference stops just as the second orb exits the room.
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks. Michelle, you didn't just flash your light, did you?
No, it's the camera.
They're taking pictures right outside.
There's an orb, No, there's an orb.
Right now?
Two of them, yeah.
Where?
In the cell. Gotta come over here.
Although two orbs are clearly visible in the shot, it is my theory that these two orbs are actually the same single orb, as it travels in front of Joe and the camera one time, goes behind him, and comes out again, this time leaving the room and stopping the interference.
Michelle, you didn't just flash your light, did you?
No, it's the camera.
They're taking pictures right outside.
There's an orb, No, there's an orb.
Right now?
Two of them, yeah.
Where?
In the cell. Gotta come over here.
What we have shown you here may be debated for years to come, but one thing is certain. The Burlington County Prison Museum in Mount Holly, New Jersey is a fascinating place. I highly recommend you experience it for yourself, if you dare.
We're going to talk about the second visit to the Burlington County Prison Museum. With us is Trish, who...
the new Ghostbuster.
Yeah, a little special guest. First time we went there, definitely you could feel chills and stuff. The second time, not so much.
I think we were wanting to accept, like, hear and see more.
Joe, what do you think?
You really want to know what I think?
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't feel anything. I didn't see anything. I didn't sense anything. I don't mean that as in the role of a spoiler or anything. No, I got nothing. I felt nothing. We just had a nice night hanging out, and I don't think anything was there. Nothing was proven to me.
No, it definitely didn't prove anything.
Right.
It didn't validate anything that left us hanging.
I think there's something that you're gonna show us on that.
Well, I got something.
Yeah, say, because you keep smiling.
I got
something.
something.
I didn't feel that.
Because I didn't feel a thing. I think when you least expect things, that's when stuff's going to happen. I got something. Okay? I'm going to play something. And I need you to keep an eye on the hallway. It's an image of you, of Michelle and Trish, sitting in the hallway, and they're going to leave. Okay?
Oh, God.
Oh.
Wait.
Did
Do
you
that again.
see that?
Hold on. I gotta see it
That
again.
was really
That's
wicked.
good.
What the heck was that?
I'm going to do it again in slow motion.
Oh. Oh my God, I got chills.
What is that?
You were holding
I'm thinking more of an ectoplasma.
Look at
He was
that.
following me.
Pretty neat.
Well, it was good enough to be caught on the camera live.
Yeah.
Because watch.
Did you? Is it? What was it?
It came back and just disappears in the floor.
Not, it was,
And
That's it. It's gone.
and the most skeptical of the bunch, our good friend Joe, is the one that actually discovers it and follows it.
It's called good camera work.
But here it goes.
It just comes out of nowhere. It looks like an angel with wings, a little tiny thing with wings that just flies away. Not that it is. It's got that plasma. And it just follows you guys out.
Well, it disappears right there and it
It
comes back.
disappears through the hallway. Here it comes. See, it goes, follows you, and then goes out into the hallway.
And then it comes back down, right?
Moments later, after they leave, Joe's still filming that area.
And look.
And it goes straight to the ground. And it's gone.
What did you say?
It's an orb, son of a beep.
See, here it comes out of nowhere. It looks almost like a feather or
Yeah.
dust, but it's maintained the consistency through the frames.
How come you didn't say nothing?
Huh?
It was an orb. It's a big deal.
I remember him saying
You know how many times
Saying
throughout the
outside
night
that
you
he was
see what you
seeing
think are orbs, butterflies, and it's just one more.
It was no, I didn't see
But
it as
you
a big
came out
deal.
and said it.
Yeah, because I saw. I mean, I couldn't help but to notice it. But in the long,
Well, he says at any time of, you know.
Oh, look, an orb. Bad,
If
here's
you
an orb.
fart in the camera,
Here's
it
an
makes a
orb.
little flash. Look, an orb. You know, it's just.
But in the grand scheme of things, I didn't see it as being that significant.
That,
To
yeah, I
me,
think
I don't-
that's
I
neat.
still
That's
look-
just as good as Don't You Bother Me.
Not even close. What I see there, it's nothing. I mean, I don't.
That's
see
neat.
It was an orb or a camera. What do you say when it's the camera or maybe dust in the air or something?
A lens flare.
A lens. It could
But
be.
That wasn't a
That
lens.
was-
Again, I don't.
no,
Again, I don't
that
think.
Lens
was-
flare that changes direction on its own.
I've seen them do a lot.
For you to,
You know,
I don't. I
it's
don't
too
think it was
slow
anything
to be a
yeah.
bug. It's very transparent.
yes,
Yeah.
for you to believe, or
I mean, it looks very
you gotta
similar
have something
to.
jump out in front of you.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, that's what.
Yeah, but you didn't even come out and say, oh,
You know,
I think I really got something.
In all
I didn't think it was- I
fairness,
didn't think it was anything though.
could
I
it be
really-
dust? Could it be hair? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But just the way it's controlled.
Yeah, but it disappeared right there.
Yeah.
And
That
then the way it
is-
followed them.
That's where that's where you know it.
And it wasn't like it
disappeared.
was a piece of dust that, look, the wind took it, because how slow were we walking? I mean, it wasn't like you were running
and-
anywhere.
and you know what?
Yeah.
And I'm willing to challenge any of you for this. Sit and watch 4 hours of videotape, and you start to know exactly what the dust is and what the bugs are.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so when I see something like that, say, that just flew right out of there.
Yeah.
But you know a bug. You know, the bugs were like you, and the bugs were much more zigzagging.
Yeah.
And,
That's more floaty.
It came, and it
You know,
came
it's
up from the
deliberate.
ground. It didn't even come
and
up
if
from
you
like,
see it, it looks like it's
middle.
going. You know, and it's propelling. It's
it
you know,
Right there,
up.
it looks also
Yeah,
like
it's
as
gonna-
if it's almost see-through.
Plus
in a
it's
way,
gone
too.
there.
Like it's a
And then it
mist.
comes back when it's like on the ground.
Like the color of it is just strange. Definitely.
And then it
I
just-
definitely believe that's
Something.
that's
I
something.
think it's definitely.
and then it just comes back.
Look at that. And if that was a bug, the size is just way too big. I mean, unless you got some kind of butterfly or
it's-
something. That's
Yeah,
huge.
when have we seen something
You don't
that
see something
big?
that big. I looked
Just
at that.
gliding. It's just
It's
gliding.
like the
and
size of a
And
small
gone.
bird.
I would
You know?
accept it better if they
So-
walked, and as they walked, something
It
was just
went.
kicked up.
Right.
Here, they walked away,
And then
and rather than when you walk away, something just blowing away behind you,
Mhm.
it takes off to
gone.
follow you guys.
Right.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, my final take on all this. Okay, maybe there's something there. Maybe there's not. To me, there was no overwhelming evidence to prove anything. I mean, as of right now, I got to say, I saw somebody, an outside party, had asked, you know, hey, you guys, what did you find? What did you see? I'd have to say I saw nothing. I would say, okay, there were some interesting things, but I wouldn't call that proof. You know, if I was on the jury,
Right.
I wouldn't find beyond a reasonable
It's
doubt.
not
type
enough to
evidence.
Because
convict.
it's not real strong, but that's definitely.
But it's
something.
enough to open your
Raise
eyes.
more
a little.
Yeah, I know. I mean, yeah, eyes are
Raise
open.
your eyebrow, you know.
I'd like to think my eyes are always open, but I can't say that I came out of this whole thing with seeing something. It was interesting. It was a
Right.
great experience.
Well,
I'll
you
do it
didn't
again in a
see,
heartbeat. But
like a
uh,
person or something, but that was something.
maybe it was. I can't. I mean, I don't know for sure. I'm not going to go pretend to know something that I don't.
Something just disappears like that.
It could be, but I've seen that all the time on this with this dust and stuff like that. To me, that was nothing.
I don't
I'd
think
have
it's
to.
dust.
Are you gonna prove something?
That's dust.
Did you plant that there?
No, I just
Plant it, see?
No, this is where the couch.
We're on a jury and there's planted evidence here.
See how it fell straight to the
That
ground?
felt like
You
a
know,
feather.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not a
it-
dust expert
so
either. I
it's
mean, now
not
we're really
going
getting
like
in there.
That
This is,
acted like a feather.
But I'll tell you what, though, I was cleaning up.
It
cat hair.
wants to
Hold
go
on,
down.
Let me make a statement on
This
on
wants
now.
to
Hold
go
on.
down.
I'm going to be a hair and dust expert for a minute.
Yeah, see?
It wants to go down.
Where's the wind, Joe?
It fought itself.
I was cleaning cat hair
Like
today.
as if there was wind there, and there was no
Okay.
wind.
Well, we
There
had the
was no-
cat hair scenario.
Cat hair scenario. I was cleaning up cat hair today, a lot of it. And through human error, I forgot to turn my fan off, so I'm watching some of it circulate. And it does circulate in weird, silly ways. So
There's no fans in there though.
I know, but
we
air
were
is
in a
air.
dead room.
I know, but I'm just trying to say that it does, for whatever reason, again, this has nothing to do with anything, but that little thing we saw there to me is not evidence. I could
Okay.
not.
What was it?
I have
But it
no. I have
disappears.
no idea.
That's all you got to do, though. Okay? Now watch.
That big enough.
This goes up.
That's
Yeah,
It doesn't go down. It comes up.
And it's fighting
yeah.
gravity. It propels. It's.
look at it.
Up, turns. And you're right, it does
It's
look like
going there.
it's flapping.
But it's gone. It
You
kind
know,
of comes back.
And I would say maybe it's a light reflection from the camera or something, or somebody
But the
walking.
camera's
It
not
comes
moving.
back into the room
But it's gone.
and goes right in front of Joe's camera, and he follows it down to the ground.
And he's not moving the camera
And
right
excellent,
now.
excellent work. Fall to the ground.
Thank you. That's what I'm here for. I am the as stated in the beginning of this DVD.
Say
I
you're
am
the
the camera guy.
cameraman. Say, look. Go on.
It's got wings.
There's so much I want to believe. You know, I want to believe those two hunters got Bigfoot in a freezer.
Oh, yeah, I see
You know, but
Then again, you're like,
in for all intents and purposes, for the integrity of what we're doing and for the field, I can't really call it a ghost or ectoplasm either. You know, because I just don't know.
Right.
You know, we were sitting in that basement. There were bugs all over the place.
Yeah. The bottom line is it's going to open up conversation. When people watch us, if 3 or 4 or more people are watching at the same time, it will start conversation. Just like we're having now. We'll have one guy not believing a thing. We'll have another person believing a lot of it, and people in between giving their 2 cents worth, which is great. That means we put together a half decent thing. If
No matter what,
Right.
people are gonna
I feel
look at stuff like
personally,
this.
yeah, I'm sorry, Ben?
No matter what, people are gonna
People are
look
looking
at
at
stuff.
it.
Like they're gonna look at it.
I don't have
Right,
enough
yeah.
to convince a hardened skeptic, but I feel the place was haunted. And you know, I wish I had the stuff to really show totally conclusive evidence for that.
And you know what? Can't ask for,
no, maybe
can't
it
ask
could
for
have been
more than
that,
that.
or this,
You know,
or...
and the skeptical come and say, well,
And that's
they
great.
could even get the interference. You know, that "Don't You Bother Me" could be interference from a dispatch
Yeah,
radio
right.
station,
you know.
yeah.
The police station is right next door, but I challenge them. You know, come.
And that's even
you know,
better.
Do it for yourself.
What's good about that?
Investigate it yourself.
Somebody's throwing in another opinion, which means somebody's going to dispute that, and then they're going to have another debate. That's perfect.
We're gonna go again?
Would you like to?
I would.
Yeah.
I'd like
Okay.
to wait till we get like fall, the fall.
Three's a charm.
Fall's coming.
Yeah.
So get a little colder. Get like a fall night
We'll see what
where.
happens.
And the clocks are gonna go back, so
And then
it'll
just
get
figure out
darker.
a night with a full moon too.
Mm-hmm.
Try to make a
full
good
moon.
rainier with the third time.
And then try the thing you were talking like with the having like a conversation to ignore them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We'll do a different
Definitely
approach.
try like a different technique or something.
You know, we've been there more enough. The place is small enough where we're comfortable enough where we can actually go with a game plan.
Reminds me of a small school, doesn't it?
Yeah.
What sells in it? Maybe it's a reform.
That is school. we call them classrooms.
Yeah, right.
Okay, introduce yourself.
I'm Beverly Hannon. I'm 33 years old. I don't know, what do you want to know?
How long have you been a ghost hunter?
It's gotta be at least over 5-6 years.
What was your most memorable experience at Burlington County?
Burlington County, with the EMF, watching the needle jump and like back and forth.
Now, when you're sitting in that hall, in that dark prison, and that needle's going back and forth, what's going through your mind?
Where is the ghost? Where is he? By me, or is he? Is he right here? Is it true?
Now, how do you feel now, knowing that there's a possibility that the EVP we caught was created where you were?
Well, it freaks me out. I didn't see nothing here, I didn't hear it, so. But it freaks me out knowing that it was by me now.
What was your most memorable personal experience just in ghost hunting, in just the paranormal?
I always liked the EVPs I used to get when, the old ones that we listened to. But that one now that we just got from Burlington is the most, I would say, my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Most of all experiences I had, I really haven't had really evidence like that with the EMF and with the EVP. That was probably the best EVP. I just want to see something like I want to see actually some good stuff.
Right. How much of a role do you think your mother played?
Oh, the whole thing. Like, she's really the one that got me into it and everything.
Mm-hmm. And what do you look forward to the most working with us?
At least I know with you guys that when you guys say it's something, it's something. And I know that now. Like, before I would be like, what is that? Like, I always thought it was something else or something like paranormal, but now I know that with you guys, yous are, more interesting, and there's more of us now. Usually I only go with a few people.
Right.
So with us, I have more fun with us too. It's pretty fun.
What do you think of the chemistry of the team?
I think it's good. Chemistry's great. We all get along. Everybody's funny in their own way, and you got like a little bit of everybody's personality. Like me, I'm a scaredy cat. You got somebody who really isn't scared at all, like you. Joe, he's hilarious. And of course my sister, and Trish, the newcomer, and Chris, my boyfriend, and I think it's a good team.
In Burlington County, in the prison, what area of the prison do you think is the most creepiest?
In the basement, where the guards were killed, or the inmate. Was it the guard or the?
It was just one guard.
The guard. Where he got killed at. That was, I would say, the most freakiest. The most scariest, and the part where you go into the hallway where they were all like hung and stuff. Mm-hmm. In that hallway there, that was freaky there too.
Did you get any feelings, any sensations, anything outside around the gallows?
Mm-mm. No.
Yeah, me neither. All right, introduce yourself.
My name's Chris Deptola.
You've done this 10 times. You're the only one that has done this the most interviews.
Yeah, Chris Deptola. I'm
sorry, take it from the top.
All right. My name's Chris Deptola. I'm 2010, 30. Live in Mays Landing. And here I am.
What do you look forward to the most working with the crew, the team?
Something that's going to take me off my feet. I want to see something that's going to be like, wow, I can't believe I just seen that. That's what I really look forward to.
Do you think you could handle a physical experience?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I have no fear. Maybe that's why I don't see something.
What are your phobias? Do you have any?
Nah, none really. Not at all. Nothing really bothers me.
No, flying, nothing.
Nope. Nothing I could think of. Not at all.
All right, what was your first experience?
Well, I was younger, in high school, getting ready for school, and at the time we had a dog, and he was always around me, and my closet was at the top of the steps, and I felt something like blow by me real fast. I turned around, there was nothing there. So that was it. Freaked me out because I thought it was my dog. So that was the really only experience that kind of like shook me a little bit.
During this time, where was your dog?
Downstairs with my mom. So that was an experience.
What's your do you have a list of your top favorite experiences at Burlington County Prison?
Yeah, obviously downstairs with the EMF going off.
Now, what's going through your mind the whole time that's going off?
What the heck could this be? Yeah. Thinking, could it be, the phones, the cameras, the electric, the play, who knows? But we tested all that, so who knows?
What is it that convinces you personally that it wasn't just coincidental interference?
I don't know, I'm still kind of teeter-tottering. I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced at all. Still, I think like I said, I'll be convinced really if something I actually see it and then just takes me off my feet. That's when I'll be really convinced. Other than that, I'm still like 50-50.
And what about the EVP?
The Don't You Bother Me. That brings me over a little bit. Yeah, like I want to know more. Like, is this possible? Yeah. But like our discussion, like everything was, we would have heard it on every camera if it was one of us. So kind of believe that more. So makes me more of a believer.
What do you think about the team you're working with?
Great. I love it. It's fun. I'm sure everybody else said it. Great. Everybody's got their own personalities, which makes it really unique and fun to be with each other. And we all get along, so that's the most thing that's important. So that's great. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but it's really good. It's good. Plus we're all close, like family. Yeah, it's good.
Your name?
Trish Leskis.
Where are you from?
I'm from Atlantic City, New Jersey.
What got you into, what was it about the paranormal field that you're interested in?
I've always been interested in the unknown, but after I moved from Atlantic City to Northfield, we moved into a house that was about 100 years old and started seeing things. Well, actually, my family members started seeing things. I never saw anything, but it raised my interest.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because the stories, they matched up so well from each individual that saw what they saw.
So you never saw anything personally?
Nope.
How long have you been ghost hunting?
I've only actually really been hunting recently this year because I was traveling on tour across the United States. So it brought me into many different theaters, and I found that in most of the southern theaters, you came across the older theaters, over 100 years old, parts of it still intact since they were built, and there was plenty of stories. and the stories raised my interest, and then I would go on break and wander around by myself with cameras, and I started taking pictures, and I came across lots of my pictures had orbs, tons of them, thousands of them, and after that I was just hooked.
Now, how would you describe yourself as far as an investigator? I've seen you have more of a provoking approach.
I don't know, I want to have fun with them. I think that egging them on, torturing them a little, they'll get mad or annoyed easily and maybe come out. When I was living in the house that was apparently haunted, you know, I was always very afraid, and I felt like because I was afraid, maybe that's why I was the only one in my house that never saw anything. So I changed my approach. I'm trying to be braver and maybe like taunt them a little.
What was your best or most memorable experience?
That would have to be in a theater in Mobile, Alabama. And I was, there was apparently a suicide up in the rafters of the theater, and it was a very old theater, maybe more than 100 years old. And me and a group of people went upstairs looking around where there was still caution tape and where there's apparently still the blood stains on the floorboards. And while I was up there, I just got the chills so bad, and it was the pictures more than anything that got me, because I went with about 15, 16 cast members. We all had digital cameras, and all the digital photos came back the same. We had the same orb-like figures over all of our faces almost in the group picture that we took.
Really?
Mhm. And that was so creepy to me.
You still live in that house?
No, we just moved actually this year.
Where you live now, do you feel any...
No, I'm not afraid to wander around my house at night, but in the other house I was. There was something weird about it, you know, and I moved out of that house on my own and, you know, didn't feel one thing in my other houses, but then I came back to live with my mom, and then I was a little afraid, you know, in a lightning storm or in the dark by myself. It was weird. It was weird how that changed in me. I thought I was just a scaredy cat. But then when I lived alone, it's like, well, what's wrong? Why am I not afraid to walk around by myself? Or
Now, aside from that, what other topics of the paranormal are you interested in?
Well, I used to watch a lot of X-Files, so the whole truth is out there, the notion that we might not be alone in this universe. I mean, how could we possibly be the only living thing here, has always brought up my interest. But so I would say the wondering if we're alone. I mean, that part of it. I love that part of the paranormal too.
What do you look forward to about, try to phrase this, what do you look forward to the most working with us?
I hope that I'll at least get to see something, even if it's not a whole something. At least if it's just something of any sort that will prove to me that there is something there, that all these stories, that these things that other people say that they've seen that I've never had a chance to say, I hope that one day, you know, that I'll see something so that I can be like, yeah, I understand completely. I know exactly what you feel. You know, I know how that feels to feel like we're not totally alone. I think that would be awesome, and I really hope that I get the chance to feel that.
What's your greatest ambition? I know when we first met you wanted to go just by yourself on the gallows.
Mm-hmm.
What would be your greatest ambition? A castle? I guess your haunted fantasy.
My haunted fantasy?
Yeah.
Oh my. I have always wanted to explore an abandoned insane asylum. Since I was younger, I've always been obsessed with abandoned insane asylums. I don't know what it is about them, but they are the scariest places on earth to me. They freak me out more than anything. If you can remember the beginning of Halloween, when all those crazy people are out and about in their white gowns because they escaped, that right there for some reason scared me more than anything that's ever scared me. Just thinking that one day I'm gonna look out my window and there's gonna be people in white gowns walking around. I don't know why.
In the rain,
in the rain,
yeah.
exactly. I don't know why that freaks me out more than anything. So to walk around an abandoned insane asylum, and I don't even know if I could get up enough guts to ever do that. But if I had the chance, I probably would. I've done lots of research on those kinds of places.
Anyone in particular stand out?
Yeah, the Essex Mountain. It's in, I believe it's in New Jersey. It could be in Pennsylvania, but the Essex Mountain Sanatorium, that one looks fantastic. There's a couple good stories about patient, mistreatment and a couple other things that leads me to believe that it could be pretty haunted, especially with the fact that parts of it used to be a children's orphanage before it got made into what it is now.
Anything stand out from the Burlington investigation? Any personal things?
I've never been there, so it was scary to me in a way just to be in a old prison at night in the middle of the night, and but I think when I was laying on the gallows, that was probably the creepiest thing that I did, because at first I was alone before Joe joined me, and I went up there and I just laid down and looked up right where they were, probably hung. And that feeling that I got right then, being alone and just laying on something that was so old and in the dark, I got chills, and it was a scary feeling. It was probably the most scared I was that night.
Really? Because you appeared just the opposite on film.
Really?
You just wanted to provoke.
And I think that the reason why was because I was so frightened. I was trying to be more provoking to hide that, because like I said, I thought that maybe if I changed that part of me, that maybe I'd end up seeing something. So the more scared I am, the more outspoken I want to be in times like that.
Your name?
Michelle Hennon.
And what got you interested in the ghost field?
Well, it all started, me and my mom saw, well, to explain in the beginning, it actually woke me up out of my sleep, where I must have been probably about 12 years old. I was sleeping, and as I woke up, I looked right over to the window, and I saw a clothes basket just floating in midair, and thought I was nuts. So I thought I was dreaming, whatever, and I'm just like looking at it, like strange. And so I tapped my mom. She was like closer distance. She was sleeping also. And I said, Mom, do you see that over there? And she saw it too. So she starts walking over to it, and it starts to lay back down on it, on back to like a couch chair. And then ever since then, it was just crazy. And then from there, it just stemmed into, we went to go see the Acco Ghost. We heard bangs like on the wall, like knocks on our wall. And then there's also like a story also that my dad did see something in that same very house, in the basement. He thought he saw like a little girl, like maybe his sister's size, because she died when she was 1, so he thought it was her. It was like, like running behind like some water heater in the basement, and they heard banging from the cellar and stuff like that. So it's just been interested ever since. It's been really, really interesting.
What's your greatest memory of the Burlington County investigation?
The EMF. The EMF was, it put chills down my spine. I mean, literally, because it just was creepy.
You were the one holding it.
Because I was the one holding it, yeah, exactly. So, and when it happened, it just, from what I've seen with an EMF, how slow that needle moves, to when you do go up to electromagnetic field, to the other way where it was like flipping, like the needle was going off like crazy. I knew something just definitely, it's just too strange.
What's your personal opinion about the Burlington County Prison?
I think there's some action there. I really do. I do believe it's haunted a little bit. I really do. I definitely believe we did feel, I felt something, especially also near the warden's hallway, right? When we got up there, it was like right in that long hallway. I got chills right away. I felt something really creepy. I definitely think there's something there for sure.
If you could investigate anywhere, where would it be?
Where would it be? Honestly, there's this one house that my sister's been talking about where she says she sees stuff all the time. And I would like to go there and check her house out and see if we can find something, because I want to see something that's, you know, you definitely have no explanation for it, you know what I mean, but that it is a spirit or a strange phenomenon or whatever. I want to see it. I want to see it, and I'd like to go to that house because they said it's really, really haunted. So.
What do you look forward to the most working with us?
What do I look forward to? Well, number one, we have like so much fun together, and then number two, I hope we see something. See something even better. I hope I actually see, like, you know, a figure of some type or something, you know, something really, like, I want to see something. I want to see a ghost. It's just that, ghost.
Okay, what's your name?
Joe Carollo, aka Johnny Bloodhound.
And what's your job?
My job, I'm the cameraman.
Okay. Have you ever had any paranormal experiences?
Never.
Do you look to have any?
Do I look to have any? If they happen to appear. I'm not saying looking to, in particular, to see anything or not to see anything. It all depends. If it's there, it's there. I can't, you know, it's something I don't have control over.
What do you want to get out of this?
I guess it's an educating experience more than anything. It's, you know, something to, like, my opinion on the whole thing. I believe we do go somewhere when we die. There could be spirits all around. However, I'm very skeptical. I want to see it first. I want to see some convincing evidence, not just, hey, that may be something, or we may have seen something, or I want to see something definitive. So what do I want to get out of it? It's a tough question to answer. Let's just say I want to be convinced of something. Let's say that. I want to be convinced of something.
Now, is there something in the back of your mind that convinces you that there is something?
That there's something out there, or something visible? There's a big
there
difference.
Is something out there.
Yeah, there's something out there. I believe, I mean, you know, being a person of faith, I believe that there's spirit. Where do we go? I have no idea. Do we go to this faraway playground in the sky, or do we stay around here? I don't know. So that being the case, my whole question is, could these things be seen on camera? That's my big question. I believe they could be there, but like I said, it has to. I want to really see something to believe it. Something definitive too, not just hey, to see that flash of light. You know, and you want to see something with some meat on the bones.
Now, how far are you willing to go with your belief system into the paranormal when it comes to psychics, UFOs, Bigfoot, mythical creatures?
What do you mean, how far do I want to go with my beliefs?
At what point you do believe that there's something out there that could be spiritual?
Right.
But what about what people say as far as other paranormal events that aren't spiritual, such as strange creatures, UFOs, aliens?
I think a lot of it's far-fetched. A person's imagination. You want to see. You can tell yourself something a million times, and you'll start believing it. Strange creatures. Yeah, it's possible, Dan. But I have to see it to believe. I see it, you know, and I'm of sound mind. I can say, okay, it exists. It's real. Other than that, you know, they're tall tales.
So would you announce yourself as the most skeptical of the bunch?
Of this bunch, absolutely. However, I say that in a positive way, because I always consider myself a realist. You know, I'm not one to go chase something that's not existing. You know, like I said again, I'll repeat this a million times. I believe that it could be. But yeah, of this bunch, I'm definitely a skeptic, but I think for good reason. Because a lot of these shows that are out there, and any other show I've seen through the years, nothing has been definitive. Everything, and you mentioned this once, could be explained away. Cameras can do funny things. If I see with my eyes, I know my eyes aren't doing funny things.
How do you see yourself fitting in the scheme, in the spectrum of the 5 characters?
Right.
The 5 people.
Okay.
How would you describe each one?
How would I describe each one? First is how would I fit in this? How would I fit in this crowd? I think good. They're great. Everybody's great people. There's a good chemistry amongst us, and I think the array of personalities is what's going to make this really great. Describe each one. Okay, let's go with the 2 girls first. You have Bev, and I don't mean this in a bad way. She's the, like the scared girl, which is cool. It's a great character. Michelle, you have she's like the brave little one, not afraid of anything. And there's you. You're the leader. Come on, guys. This is going to be great. We're gonna find what we're looking for. No worries. You're like the fearless leader in a different sense. Chris, I haven't got the opportunity to work with him yet. I know him very well. The other night, he wasn't saying much, which is kind of neat. Okay, here's the quiet one. It doesn't say a word, so he'll remain a mystery. Like, hey, what's this guy thinking? Then you have me, the skeptic / the humorous guy. Making a joke here and there. When Bev said her friend saw the Jersey Devil. I got a great kick out of it. And then we went back and forth. Here's the ultimate skeptic versus the ultimate, yeah, I've seen him everywhere I go. And yeah, it's all done and good. I don't think anybody's clashing. Just personalities are, the array of different array of them is going to make it really interesting.
So with the 5 personalities being what they are, they seem to gel very well considering we all have a different objective here.
Absolutely, absolutely. I would think it'd be boring if we were all the same. Like, hey, did you see that? Yeah, I saw that. Here. It opens up conversation, which is great, which is what you want. And when the viewer's seeing this, they're going to see, 5 different, personalities going at it. And I can, to see myself now, I can see one of them saying, "Oh God, you see that? Made like, what did you say? You're using your imagination and so on and so forth."
What do you think would happen if you're filming and you feel someone grab and for a fact there's no one there?
I'd have to know for a fact no one's there. What do you mean by that? Because somebody could always be playing a little trick. Somebody standing behind you purposely to mess with you.
Well, what do you think your reaction would be when you have that definitive moment when there's obviously you and no one else? And
I think it'd be pretty neat, and I can get into why in a minute. If this were to, and Dan, I'm saying the word "if" really loudly here. If that were to happen, I guess, like I said, how definitive would I'd have to question myself, okay, was this real or did I trip over something? Let's say, like, I know what you're saying, like, yeah, you felt somebody grab you, you really felt it, and nobody's around. That'd be kind of neat, and I'd be like, wow, just what we wanted. I want that to happen, I had somebody else tell me recently, you shouldn't go to this such and such a place. You can get hurt, this, that, and the other, or something might happen to you. In a case like this, you almost want to bring that on because you want to see it. It's almost like you want to ask for a little bit of danger in a sense, because maybe that's what it takes to see something provoking.
So with regards to provoking a spirit, you would be up for that?
Absolutely. I'm going to feel kind of funny doing it if I'm really not believing they're there at that moment, but if that's what it takes, I figure, hey, I'm here. You got to put your best foot forward. Yeah, by any means. What did Malcolm X say years ago? By any means necessary. And that's what it takes. Sure. We want to get this on film. This is the whole object here. Whatever it's going to take to, try and make this the best as it can be, and to see and to discover some kind of truth is, like I said, yes, something could be there, but could we catch it on film?
Now, you've never had a paranormal experience of any kind.
No.
You know anyone who has?
Yes, that would be my grandmother. She'd see different, the different people she never saw before. An old man, a quote-unquote ugly old man, a chubby man, a beautiful lady in a white gown holding a baby, different visions of people. And when we went there, we all came to a conclusion that she was sincere. It could be, a sleeping pill she was taking, which brought on a hallucination. Or we also said they could be there, maybe we just couldn't see them, which brings up another argument that we mentioned earlier. Here, maybe they're there, but we just can't catch them on film. And I think she's very credible. I think a lot of us agreed that she was sincere in what she saw. And a lot of questions arose. Okay, did she see these things? Well, she saw something. Are they really real? Could have been a hallucination, or maybe the medicine brought on the ability to see them. There's a million ways to go. My grandmother would see these ghosts, and when she saw them at 2 other houses actually. But you know, the medication was in use at that time too.
Just like stay on the back corner. Let's go. Over here.
There's an orb, son of a...
Just like stay on the back corner. Let's go. Over here.
There's an orb, son of a...
Just like stay on the back corner. Let's go. Over here.
There's an orb, son of a...